There is a very specific kind of frustration that only car enthusiasts understand, and it's not about money, horsepower, or lap times. It's the frustration of knowing a car exists that feels like it was built specifically for you, with your priorities, your taste, your values in mind, and being told you can't have it. Not because it's too expensive, not because it's unsafe, but simply because you live on the wrong side of the map. That feeling is exactly what this car represents. On paper, the GR Yaris Morizo RR is just another limited edition performance hatch, but emotionally, culturally, and philosophically, it is something much bigger. This is Toyota doing something deeply irrational in the best possible way. This is a company choosing obsession over scale, feel over spreadsheets, and driver connection over mass appeal. And that's why it hurts so much that most of us will never see one in person, let alone drive one. Because this isn't a marketing exercise. This isn't a badge and decal special. This is a car that exists because someone at the very top of Toyota still believes that driving should be hard, mechanical, and deeply involving. What makes this car special starts long before you talk about power or bodywork. It starts with intent. The Morizo RR exists because Toyota has been racing relentlessly, not just to win trophies, but to learn. Real racing, endurance racing, the kind of racing where suspension compliance matters more than spec sheet stiffness, where stability at 3 a.m. in changing conditions is worth more than peak grip numbers on a perfect lap. That philosophy shapes everything about this car. The suspension isn't just firmer or lower. It's tuned around undulation, camber change, and imperfect surfaces, the kind of surfaces you find on real tracks, not Instagram perfect circuits. The car is meant to stay composed when the road isn't cooperating. That alone tells you who this car is for. It's not built for drag races, dyno charts, or YouTube roll races. It's built for drivers who understand that confidence is faster than aggression. Then there's the bodywork, which looks aggressive not because it's trying to impress you, but because it has a job to do. The aero exists because the car needs it, not because it sells better with wings. The rear wing is adjustable because downforce isn't a fixed idea. The front splitter and side skirts are there to keep the car planted when speeds climb and loads increase. Even the materials matter. Carbon fiber isn't a flex here, it's weight savings in the right places. Everything feels deliberate. Even the small details carry intent. The way the wheels are finished, the way the exterior avoids flashy colors, and instead leans into something more understated and purposeful. This isn't a car screaming for attention, it's a car quietly daring you to keep up. Inside, the same philosophy continues. Nothing exists for comfort theater. Nothing is there to impress passengers who don't care. The steering wheel is smaller because response matters. The material choice is about grip, not luxury. The layout mirrors a race car because muscle memory matters when you're driving at the limit. This is not a place designed to isolate you from the car. It's designed to connect you to it. And yes, some people will immediately complain about the transmission choice. They always do. But this is where the story gets interesting, because the automatic here isn't about convenience, it's about consistency, it's about endurance, it's about staying sharp when fatigue sets in and mistakes become expensive. This isn't Toyota abandoning enthusiasts, it's Toyota acknowledging a different kind of enthusiast, the kind who values control under pressure more than romantic ideals about shifting gears, the kind who understands that performance is about outcomes, not nostalgia. And that's the uncomfortable truth about this car. It challenges a lot of the stories we like to tell ourselves about what real performance is supposed to be. It forces us to confront the idea that maybe the purest driving cars aren't always the most traditional ones. What really elevates the Morizo RR, though, is the way the all-wheel drive system has been rethought. The torque split isn't just a number, it's a philosophy, a true balance between front and rear that changes how the car behaves when you push it. This isn't about safety-first understeer, it's about neutrality, about giving the driver a platform they can trust when they're asking a lot from the car. That balance transforms how the car feels mid-corner, on throttle, and on exit. It makes the car feel smaller than it is, more precise, more alive. And that's something you can't fully explain with specs. You have to feel it. What makes all of this even more painful is the exclusivity. Not because it's limited, but because of how it's limited. This isn't a car you can just order if you have the money. It's allocated, scarce, treated almost like a reward rather than a product. That scarcity sends a very clear message. This car isn't meant to sell in volume. It's meant to exist as proof. Proof that Toyota still knows how to build something uncompromised. Proof that racing still informs road cars in meaningful ways. Proof that driver-first engineering hasn't disappeared. And that proof is being kept away from an entire market of enthusiasts who would absolutely understand it. That's the part that stings. Because this car would make sense in places where driving culture still values small, fast, tactile machines. Places where roads are tight, speeds are human, and engagement matters more than straight-line dominance. Yet, the people who would appreciate it most are left watching from the distance. And maybe that's the point. Maybe this car isn't meant to be global. Maybe it's meant to be personal, a love letter to a specific philosophy of driving, a reminder that cars don't have to be everything to everyone. In a world where performance cars are getting bigger, heavier, and more digital by the year, the Morizo RR feels like a quiet rebellion. It's small, it's focused, it's unapologetically niche, and it doesn't care if that makes it inconvenient. That's why it matters. Because cars like this don't just exist to be driven, they exist to set a tone. They influence future products. They justify decisions inside boardrooms. They give engineers leverage to argue for feel over features. Even if you never touch one, it shapes what comes next. The real tragedy isn't that you can't buy this car. The real tragedy would be if cars like this stopped being made at all. If the industry decided that passion projects weren't worth the effort. If racing stopped feeding back into road cars in meaningful ways. As long as something like the Morizo RR exists, there's hope. Hope that performance cars can still be weird, still specific, still built for people who notice things like steering weight and suspension compliance. Hope that someone, somewhere inside a massive corporation, is still building cars for themselves first. And maybe, just maybe, that obsession will trickle down. Maybe some of what makes this car special will find its way into something more accessible, something you can actually buy. Until then, all we can do is admire it from afar and feel that familiar bittersweet mix of envy and respect, because this isn't just a hot hatch we can't have. It's proof that someone still gets it.